we came up with, let's say, a modest list of reasons why to work with Wavi. Definitely in 3, 4, 5, 6 months, in a year, we're going to have more reasons, and we're going to add more services to what the client can experience with us. But for now, let's focus on what we do, because believe me, other 70 or 80% of the companies in Dubai, they do not do those things even. So I'm going to have a separate slide for the secondary market sellers, because it's a bit of different approach towards them. But overall, we're going to talk about market analysis and risk diversification. Everyone understand what diversification means? Do not put all the eggs in one basket. Urgent exit from investment. This is what we decided to name when you have a lot of clients, no, not a lot, some clients of yours purchased maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago and not able to pay, and they need to exit. So we don't want to use unsuccessful investment or anything like this. We're just going to use urgent exit from investment. Transparent investment process overall. Customer service. Relocation services, which is more applicable for those who are looking to invest and then potentially move in Dubai, which can be not actually from only post-Soviet Union countries. It can be from Canada, it can be from anywhere. From the phone conversation that I've heard, you have those requests from people basically living overseas, just in Canada. Well, that's what I heard. Financial and mortgage assistance, and assistance with the money transfer, which is valid for, of course, our post-Soviet Union countries, and in general for countries in, I don't want to say GCC region, but in Arabic region, like Lebanon, Egypt. I believe it's not easy as well for them to transfer the money. So we are able to assist with those things. Any questions on that? Secondary market. Why to list property with us? Just before me starting this chapter, in your mind, why do you think the landlord, the property owner, would want to hire you as a listing agent? Any ideas?
Yeah, he knows us.
Huh?
He knows us.
Okay, so he knows us. What do you mean exactly? He's just someone who purchased through you. Mm-hmm. Do you have those clients in the secondary market who have a ready property which been purchased through you? Yes. Okay, so that's a good thing. So someone who already been working with you, and that's definitely gonna be a good source of leads if we keep consistency with this relationship. If we call in, for example, them maybe every 3, 4 months, just checking how the property is performing, are they happy with the tenant, if the tenant is there, do they have any problem with the maintenance, if they're living there on their own, is there anything good with whatever facilities as they expected. So that's an important thing for you to have in your sales process. If you want to keep this client and you don't want to have always need to put a new potential sellers in your pipeline, is to keep this relationship. So you've sold the unit, the first call I would do maybe in 20 days after the deal is done, just to check, have you moved in, anything good, is the diva connected, or the AC is working properly, whatever is happening, just a customer care check. In this call as well, I will definitely ask for a referral. Referral? Как это на русском? Рекомендация. Referral means, do you know anyone who might be struggling with the same issue that you are struggling before you moved, before you sold your property? So who might be need my help? We're going to have a separate process of how to build the referral testimonial process. I'm just putting some tipping point for you already now. If you have those clients whom you've sold and you never called them, put into your schedule and start calling them at least once in 3 months. Because once in 3 months, you will be able to ask, maybe not on every call you do, but every second call. So once in the 6 months, I would ask for referrals and keep re-asking about referrals all the time because, you know, people are turning around. There is lots of new acquaintances happening. And on the first call that I will do in 20 days, I will ask for a testimonial. Testimonial is something as a Google, I will call it a Google review. То, что клиент думает о вашей работе, о вашем сервисе. There is a way to get the testimonials which are more useful than, okay, Olga is a great agent, thank you so much. There is a structure to do that. I will teach you that as well. However, for now, just a simple question, would you be able just to maybe give me a couple of words as a justification of what we were able to do together, just to kind of evaluate my work? Oh yes, I will be able to do that. If that helps, you can just send me a text, or you just can record a voice note. Both of those things are, guys, your most precious commodity. Because in the future, we're all going to the, I don't want to say Google review world, but the more and more we ourselves as a customers and everyone else are going to be looking at what is your evaluation process. Have someone recently interacting with the Dubizzle or Facebook marketplace, trying to sell some stuff over there? When you have an interaction with someone who, I'm selling lots of crap. I'm 9 years in Dubai, so I was selling lots of things recently. I was just like, too much. After every interaction, the algorithm asked me to rate the conversation with this particular person. They were clients. I was a seller. They were clients. And I was asked to rate my conversation. Do you see how all of this is going to develop in the future? Have anyone watched the Black Mirror TV series? It was an episode about this. Scoring, yeah. So you will have your score. Based on that, you will be able to walk into certain areas. You will be able to walk into certain societies. I'm talking about like not that long in the future. Maybe like 5, 7, 10 years max, really. So guys, do you want to be the first ones who is doing this? Or do you want to be a second one? It's more, of course, for the client, but as well, it's more for you to be able to even see what you can improve. And if there is nothing to improve, then the client really like you, it's building up your confidence. Because there is no other way for you to build your own confidence, or randomly, when you are in a low period, go and reread a couple of testimonials you got from the client. Always helps. What else? If there is, that this client is not yet familiar with us, what would be the reason for anyone who is trying to sell the property to work with our company?
If you're a good seller, you did good cold call, and connect with client. Suppose it
Okay.
will be where
Connected.
we are going.
Yeah, if you were able to build a connection. Yes.
You sound professional. It should be. You sound professional, and then, somehow you should be really good. Like already his body or something.
I want to dig deep a little bit into that for all of us guys. When you're saying you sound professional, can you give me maybe example out of this industry, not from the real estate, from the different industry, when you say that the person sounds professional if he's talking about? Because how we understand if someone is professional or not? We are not professional in this, right?
I suppose if you're very good in some area, yes, and you know all details, and you could explain to the owner, okay, you have experience, you know all market,
Perfect, perfect. So you know the details that the landlord, the owner of the property might know as well, but you put them into such a nice place and you attach it all and you kind of have a point, a common sense, as we're saying. So for that, we're going to be using our plan that we created all together for you to become someone who is sound professional, because no one ever walked into real estate industry just sound professional like this. Even if they've been great in selling property in US, Dubai is a completely different market, and they are definitely going through a similar process themselves, learning every step of the way for them to sound now someone who makes sense. Because this is how if you were yourself someone who wanted to sell the property, which kind of agent you would select? Someone you feel understand you, and based on your feelings, gut feelings, will be able to get you a best possible price, right? So getting into this, we are talking about the seller's problem. And this is the most important thing for you guys, to understand the problem of your clients, whatever it is, a seller or a buyer. Because understanding and speaking about the problems makes you look like a professional, makes you look like someone who understands. Simple example from the medical industry, because I love this example, everyone can relate. You're walking into the doctor office and he's asking you a couple of questions, you're giving a response, and then he is starting to make a point connecting your responses to something. Just because he's doing this, you're like, oh yeah, well, he's so good, right? Because he knows your problem so deep that you yourself don't even know that, right? Even though you have your body, you kind of, well, what do you mean? Who knows my body better than me? But he knows because he's professional. He's been learning and talking with lots of clients before. He knows how it looks like. So the seller's problems are lack of qualified buyers. So what does that mean? He might be working with lots of agents. He's not listing with anyone specifically, exclusively meaning all the agents are phoning him, all the agents are arranging the viewings. Eventually, half of those buyers who are walking into his property, if he's living there, leaving the marks, I don't know, they're not eager to remove the shoes. They don't have either financial capacity or the time frame, which is matching with his desire to sell. So what does it mean? The agents who are working with those buyers never properly qualified them. So what I am as a seller is looking, I want to work with the agent who is before going to arrange any viewing and bother me or my tenant or bother me to bring the keys, will qualify the buyer and will know for sure that this property might be what the buyer is looking for, and that the buyers actually have a financials and has a time frame. Because the first thing for the secondary market is to understand your buyer, motivation, why he even wants to buy a property, and the time frame for that. It's very simple, and at the same time is very complicated. Specifically, if we're talking about someone who is not yet living in Dubai, why he's planning to move, what's going to happen if he's not going to move at this particular time, what are the consequences for him, because this is what we're going to be kind of using to help him create urgency in his purchase, and the financial. Okay, so the price of the property is, let's say, around 1 million. And the way it looks like, you will have to put 10% deposit down if you are a cash buyer, or you will have to come up with XYZ amount if you're a mortgage buyer. Which one are you? How do you plan to bring the remaining of your amount? What's the time frame of you? Or I have 1 million. Yeah, that's fine. You have 1 million. But you may have 1 million, I don't know, in Bangalore in India. And for you to transfer this 1 million, maybe your friend's going to bring it in cash on the airplane. So it might take 3, 4, 5, 6 months. We don't know that yet. So how quickly you will be able to kind of put down the money for the property. All of these things, the agents are not asking because they're afraid, and they think that those questions are really touching the personal circumstances of the clients. Well, we are here to touch the personal circumstances of the clients because I'm here actually, Mr. Client, to help you and to save your time, to not look at the property which might not be the best possible fit for you. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So how we're pitching ourselves for the sellers is that we have qualification process and all our buyers, before we even going to bother you or your tenant, they're going through their qualification process, and if I'm bringing you the client, that there is a potential of this client going to give you an offer. Low number of viewings, meaning the property is, let's say, advertised by 3 agents, which is the maximum allowed if it's not an exclusive listing. Plus, it's a pocket listing for 100 other agents, but the sellers are having like 1 or 2 viewings a day, simply because no one is taking care of this property, right? And most probably the price is way higher than the market, because this is how the property portals is the best indication about the actual price and value. If the value is lower and the price is higher, you will not have enough buyers. But again, this is what we will work with our landlords when we will get a little bit better established relationship. Then we're going to work with the price reduction. However, in the beginning, specifically if we kind of finding out, we did a cold call or somehow we came across this property and we understand that, yeah, potentially the property is overpriced, I would not recommend it to you to jump into, oh, well, it's too expensive, because no one likes it, and the landlord doesn't have trust in you yet enough to kind of validate your words. No offers. Well, that's kind of a consequence from low number of viewings, meaning no offers. No one is interested to put anything down. And this is a great question, kind of mapping when we're talking with a seller who is having the property already advertised with other agents. He's like, yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm happy that you have someone taking care of your property. And just help me understand, like on the average, how many viewings do you have a week? Because why I'm asking those questions? Because in the beginning, the seller going to probably tell, yeah, I just have this 3 agents working with me. I'm kind of happy. I'm good. I don't need anyone else. Yeah, that's not a problem. I'm just here to help you to see if what I do is actually going to work for you. So how many, on average, just for me to understand, how many viewings do you have? Okay, and out of those viewings, how many offers are you getting per week? Oh, well, I'm not getting any offers per week. Really? That must be trouble. And from there, we are getting into deeper script, helping him realize that whatever he has now might not be enough. Guys, it's the same as if you've been, there's familiar faces and there's new faces. The sales process, which regardless, are we selling to a client who doesn't have anything and he wants to buy a property, or we selling ourselves to the landlord for us to be a listing agent so he can get from A to B with the property to sold the property and with the money, for him to see us as an expert, for him to see an urgency in the sales process, we need to create a gap in his mind from what he has now to where he wants to be. So the first thing that I'm doing with all the clients, regardless what I'm selling, with the company which I am pitching into becoming my client so I can train the sales team, I'm asking, what are you currently having? How many closing do you have per week? How many offers your agents are delivering, right? So with the questions to the seller, you help him by answering your questions, realize what I have all of these 3 agents, they might be not actually good enough. But instead of you telling this to him, because he's not going to listen to you. You are just the guy who called him 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes ago. and you are the salesperson trying to sell him something. But by your questions, by asking those questions, he might start realizing. I'm not saying over the 5 minutes of your first conversation, he will say, oh yeah, fantastic, yeah, it's going to be you now. What we're doing, we're planting the seed. You off the call, you agreed to have a second call, for example, or you agreed that you're going to call him back in 2 weeks. If nothing changes, then you're going to be potentially talking about you taking the property over. Over these 2 weeks, all these thoughts that been induced на русском языке, которые были как бы взрощены with your questions, they're going to grow. And most probably he might even call you yourself less than 2 weeks. And it's like, yeah, well, you know, what you've been discussing, and really, I just got through that. I don't think the agents are actually like trying to sell my property. So what you can do for me more or better than the others? The other problems of the seller is that he's consistently getting disturbed by other agents. Well, his name is in the databases. He's trying to sell, so lots of agents are calling him. He's giving them the pocket listing, and then they are trying to arrange the viewings. So put yourself in the owner's shoes. You are trying to sell. You have to repeat yourself. Talk about your property over and over again, sometimes 10 times a day. And then someone is calling, you never save the number. Oh, I want to have a viewing. Okay, fine, I have to arrange the viewing. I'm agreeing on the viewing. If it's tenanted, I'm bothering my tenant. And then either the viewing is not happening or the client is not qualified. And I'm myself already hating my life. Why would I even put myself into that? His property listed on a lower price on social media without his consent. Sometimes the property can be listed even on the property portals because, for example, Dubizzle are not very fussy with that. And sometimes if I'm an agent who had same property already, and for example, this property being sold, I'm not removing this particular advertisement. I'm keeping the same pictures, maybe changing the pictures into the new one. And for me to generate, let's say, better track of inquiries, more inquiries, I'm going to put the price, not 1 million, 950. So what's happening? There is the same apartment listed with 2 agents for 1 million and with 1 agent for 950. So it's now beating. The other agents, okay, so this listed for 950, he doesn't know that potentially it's the same property. They start calling to the landlord and saying, look, there is the similar property listed lower, we have to list it lower. Okay, we're listing it lower, right? So that's your property, Mr. Client, beating with itself. So where do you want to go from here? Do you think it makes sense? Of course not. The agent, he's officially listing the property, doesn't provide weekly updates on viewing and communication with the client. Guys, I never heard from anyone on the agent and secondary market telling me that actually I have a report, like a small report, like a small file, I don't know, like a small template that on a weekly basis I'm sending to my owners regarding my activities that I've done on the properties for the week. Never heard about this. If you ask any landlord, okay, so have you got like some reports from your current agent? He's going to say, what do you mean, which reports? No, I signed the contract to list the property. Which other reports? They're not going to even understand what you're talking about. So just by saying this, it's like, well, that's strange because you know how we do? Just because you are the one who has to be kind of on top of everything which is happening with your property. We are provide weekly updates, not only on how many people click on the ad on the portals, but as well in our own activity regarding selling your property, using the social media, my own accounts and accounts of the company, sending out to the databases that we have, and communicating with other agents. So we make sure that your apartment going to sell the fastest. So only this thing gonna completely put you in a different league. Are we doing this, guys, yet? No, but we will definitely, with your help, gonna start doing it. Any questions on that? Give me some questions. Sounds complicated or easy?
Possible. Sounds possible.
Possible, sounds possible. Perfect. Look, it doesn't mean that we have to do all of it. Just by doing half, we're already going to be different. But if you're going to do all, we're going to really shift from being off-plan-based real estate company to a company which has a good presence in the secondary market. This is how I put this document together, and you will have a Word version of it. So you will have all of the, in front of your eyes, and you can go through that. So the seller's problems are for you to understand what the sellers are actually experiencing. We can go deeper into that because it's a lot of additional problems which you will discover as soon as you start to have the deeper conversation with the landlords. Why to list property with us? Because on top of solving all of this, we have a professional video and photo materials, which we're going to be doing a bit of with a twist of $1 Million Listing. It's a TV series, which I'm referring to already several times, but majority, I want to believe, a lot of people seen it on Netflix. If they haven't seen those TV series on Netflix, it's a reality show about real estate brokers in New York. You just say, yeah, you know how there's real estate brokers in New York are doing the videos for their listings? We are doing similar things. Doesn't matter if he doesn't know, never seen. Definitely was in my mind, when I'm building up the picture, $1 Million Listing in New York definitely should be a good thing. Weekly reports on performance. We are going to share the client feedback, what the client whom we actually had the viewing with, or let's put it this way, could have the viewing with. You don't have to be completely brutally honest here, but instead of being direct and say, well, I think you have to put the price of the property down, or if you, through the client feedback, will work around the price, your landlord going to be way more agreeable, specifically after some time, if you got several feedbacks from the clients, to renegotiate the price with you. And that's exactly what you want. Because if you are not giving him this feedback, for you to renegotiate the price and put the price down, going to be very tough. It's going to look like, in his eyes, that you are the one who is not able to sell it, and you want to put the price down. We qualify the clients who have an intention, time frame, and budget to purchase. And just by saying this to the landlord, for example, giving an understanding, if the client has needs a mortgage, we only allow viewings if the client has already pre-approval in his hands. You know what pre-approval means, mortgage pre-approval? Yeah? If no, just I can quickly explain on it. So why we want clients with a mortgage pre-approval, because mortgage pre-approval, it's not about this. It has expiry date. So if I've got this, I paid money to get this, around $2,500. 1 month or 2 months, depending on different banks. So I will have to kind of choose the property with this period. So that's fantastic. So if you have a buyer who has pre-approval in hand, that means that he is serious and he's going to buy, most probably. Because for him to extend, he will have to pay additional money, or he will have to redo the process altogether. For our exclusive listings, we organize viewing preparation, units cleaning, and partial staging. Staging means bringing some furniture pieces, but I don't want us to promise any furniture pieces. It's going to be water, some refreshment, but this potentially can be pitched and offered as a part of being an exclusive listing with our company. So we take care of cleaning the unit, which is altogether going to be like 200, potentially maybe 300 in the duration of 2 months, because you don't have to clean it every week. But those type of things, which we're going to definitely work on, going to move us to have more exclusive listings. But for now, guys, at least, let's get the listing which we can officially post on the portal to have this commitment. Say it again?
Okay, how can I push it, my client correctly that he will do only personal listing with me, I mean the exclusive listing
Do you have clients who are ready to list with you now?
with clients? Then,
But you want them to be listing with you?
yeah, of course. First of all, and secondly, of course, then I will be the one who's able to sell it.
We're definitely going to cover this. I don't want to stop on that process now. What I would say is I would be very specific with choosing the exclusive listing for myself as well, because I don't want to have listings which are not there to be sold. Which, if the price is too high or the unit is, let's say, tenanted without vacating letter, and this is most probably the unit which is for the family, so for the end user, I would say it's more specific for us. We don't want to take a lot of responsibilities, a lot of exclusive listings, just because they are exclusive with us. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to sell it. Yeah, we're definitely going to get back to this question on the next, but it's kind of from the chapter 3, and we are now only chapter 1. Okay, so market analytics and risk diversification. We will have a monthly reports, but even if we don't have yet it in the company, Property Monitor is providing a monthly reports for free. You have access to Property Monitor? Yeah? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But even if, I mean, guys, even if you have one account, someone can download the Property Monitor and share it with everyone. I like this tool because it can be rebranded. It's not going to be like a Property Monitor. It can be Wavi Real Estate in terms of you just putting things and just, white label, yeah. So you just send it. But even though for yourself, it's a great tool to read through and understand how they, and they're good with analytics, how they kind of see the market going. And on top of that, your team leader is going to do a bit of the analytic work based on these reports and going to help you to understand what's actually going on. Custom investment strategy based on your unique situation and effective practices of the local market. That means that for our clients, whatever it's off-plan or secondary, who are investors, we will be able to offer 2 free strategies, which including, let's say, resale after completion of the property, or short-term rental for 2 years after completion of the property, or long-term rental, or short-term rental. So all of these things in a separate documents, which we're going to be providing you, Mr. Client, so you have them, and whenever your personal circumstances will change, you will be able to choose another strategy for yourself. Another report with updates on UAE market overall. We're going to be, let's say, sending off to the clients. I even recommended that sometimes we can, turn some of those reports into short videos. So, because people are not like, sometimes they don't have time to read. So if we're going to be providing those type of, let's say, PDF documents with a short video where the person can just like go through the 10 minutes altogether what's happened over the last quarter or 6 months in Dubai. This is what we do for our clients. So you're always going to, we're going to be there like partners with you instead of you chasing the agent who sold you a property and now potentially might not be even responsive to your calls. As I already said, we create several investment strategies, future earning plans, which can be changed. If you are coming to us in 3, 4, 6 months or 1 year after we sold your property, it's like, well, look, guys, I want to understand what else I can do because it doesn't feel like I'm earning enough. We can redo that for you and work together with helping you make more money. Sometimes it will mean that we have to sell this property, Mr. Mr. Owner, and get you a new one. But coming back to, I'm gonna say this, urgent exit from investment, guys. I know that you are all kind of brand new in the market and you have a lot of clients who are telling you that they're not happy with their investment because they purchased something 6 months ago, they were promised 40% price appreciation, growth, and this never happened, and they cannot sell it for what they promised. Is it familiar for you? Yeah? And you might be under illusion yourself because you believe to the clients that some projects in Dubai are actually might be less profitable than others. Do you think that? Do you have kind of concern about this? Which project do you think are less profitable than others from what you've seen with your client?
Safa 2. Safa 1.
When is completion of those ones?
2026.
26. Okay, so guys, when we are talking about, and I want you to use this strategy with your clients who are telling you, oh, it's not like very profitable. Okay, and help me understand, like, if the real estate investment overall, like all over the world, like if you would invest in New York or London or anywhere, what do you think the time frame of maturing this investment, of kind of созревание this investment would be?
3 years.
3 years? 3 years?
More. From 10 and more. From 10 and more.
Yeah, guys.
It's really stable.
5 years is just like very, very short period of time. So I'm really sorry, Mr. Client, that you've got like into this situation when someone who obviously wanted to kind of give you what you wanted to hear, and I want to use this term. Your previous agent actually told you what you wanted to hear, right? Because you had other offers, so why you went with this one? Because he probably told you what you wanted to hear, right? And you're going to say, right.
If it was you.
Yeah, so and I understand that, and I appreciate your honesty. And, sometimes we're falling into this patterns of behavior. That's why, I'm asking you, do you want me to be honest with you, or do you want me to do what? The person going to say, yeah, I want you to be honest with you. Okay, so overall, real estate in the world considered a very stable investment because it takes time. Anyone who invested in Dubai 10 years ago, what do you think happened with their investment now?
Or you can tell when you sell for him, or you sell after 1 year, and after 1 year you say, okay, I will be honest with you.
No. I mean, guys, if you were the one who were telling them in 6 months you're going to be able to kind of have 50% profit, I don't think I can help you on that. I mean, I can, but that's going to be a little bit tough. We have to come up with, well, the situation has changed, and as you understand, and no one is there, past performance is not predicted for the future performance. But overall, if that was not you who sold him, we have to just a little bit slap them to make them feel that they are responsible for their own decisions. So if you were there, you heard the opportunities where you decided that you want to get the best one, right? So whomever told you something that you wanted to hear, you went with that offer. So do you want to keep doing this, or do you want to kind of have more realistic approach? Because I'm the one who is dealing with the clients from going forward. I'm not gonna vanish in 6 months because I'm here for good. Make sense? So urgent exit from investment, we always have to help them realize that that's not your problem, Mr. Agent. That's not my problem, it's your problem. You made this decision based on hearing what you wanted to hear. And I'm so sorry that someone were not able maybe to have an open conversation with you. That's why what I will do, I will show you the statistics of the market, whatever it's DXB Interact or Property Monitor. You can go down the time in 2017, 2016, and show how the property performed. Anyone who invested 10 years ago, they definitely doubled what they invested, a minimum. This is how the real estate investment works in Dubai. There is no one here, if you're not invested with the first group or any commercial hotel properties that you are just not able to resell after, that's just your bad as well, because you've been believing that you can have a 20% returns. No one actually felt like they did a bad investment. Those properties in Marina in the beginning of 2008, they were sold from Amar for 400, 550. Those properties been resold multiple times. And now even the old properties, even though the Marina 6 Towers initially, it was even a leasehold property. I think it's just like, well, almost 20 years old now. It's still on a very high demand. And you can get almost up to 2 million for a bigger one bedroom right now. When initially it was sold for, let's say, 450. That's it. You just have to wait. Yeah, that's how property works. We are not here in competition to be in a competition with cryptocurrency. If you want something quick, that's unfortunately a volatile type of investment. You know volatile? Going up and down very quickly, in 1 minute, multiple times. Transparent investment process. So we're going to be creating a guide for the clients. Again, the document where they can, additional to what you're telling them, where they can go through and understand all the process for off-plan or the secondary market as well, so they know exactly what is the next step, what is their, let's put it this way, guarantee they have from the government and from the legal side of it. That's why we want to keep all the process transparent. We don't want to have you think that you are not educated enough to make your own decision. Customer service that we will, I think some of them is establishing now, and Marina told me that you were the one who basically approached the developers asking them, will the developers be willing to help you to make pictures of the construction progress, so you then send it to the clients, because developers, they have to do that, but I would say I have the off-plan property here in Dubai. I think they sold me some, they sent me some pictures maybe like 2 times. And no one is literally like caring about anything but the next payment. So we're going to talk about payments, reminders for the clients if it's an off-plan. We're going to talk about construction updates. We're going to talk about rental agreements if this is already our existing client with a ready property. We're going to remind them about the rent increase, because most, the simplest mistake that all the landlords do, they just forget to inform their tenant 3 months in advance about the rent increase, which is as per RERA calculator. Because if you fail to inform even for 1 day, you are not able to increase the rent. That's it. And the tenants now, with all of this information technology, they know that. And many landlords are losing money because they are just, it's not on top of their head. They are forgetting about these things.
So they have to warn before 3 months? They have to warn about the increase of the price before 3 months?
Yeah, that's a cut period. You can earn before that, for example, like 4 months in advance. You can say, look, guys, the the RERA rental index is this. I can share the documents with you. I'm allowed to increase as per RERA index for whatever, 5,000-6,000 dirhams. That's it. I'm sending it to them officially over the mail as a landlord. If he's saying, no, I'm not agreeing on that, okay, then you have to leave. What you cannot do, Mr. Landlord, and again, guys, it's not in every area of Dubai. The RERA doesn't work in each and every area of Dubai. There are areas which I recently discovered which are not covered by the Dubai Land Department laws. It's going to be a question. It's going to be a question in the exam. Believe me, I want you to fail, so they will have opportunity to kind of give you the answer, and then you're going to remember that. Way better if I will just tell you now, you might forget. Got it? So relocation services, support your family with relocation, finding a school. I know you guys doing this over the phone. That's great, and that's fantastic, and we can pitch it, right? That's if we're talking about the off-plan buyers and the secondary market buyers as well, and sellers including, because if I want to sell something, I actually need to move somewhere if I'm not moving out of the country. Assistance with the golden visa process. I'm sure we have partners who are able to help you basically hold your hand and move with you through all of the authorities. Moreover, you can have your golden visa when you have an accrued already and some certain percentage of the contract paid, so you don't have to actually wait till the property is completed. Do you know about that?
Yeah.
We're going to add it. I'm going to add the golden visa process. Okay. Just to give you like a small add-on to the training. So, which is already a great additional service, which majority of the companies are not doing. Financial mortgage assistance, we have partners, but we don't have to say that we have partners. My colleague, who is a mortgage broker, will help you to either get the money out of your ready property, or if you have, let's say, any eligibilities to have a personal loan, we will help you with a personal loan as well. So it's always depends. For example, how the full-time investors in US are actually becoming a full-time investors. What does it mean, full-time investor? I had a job, and then I decided I don't want to work anymore. I just only want to live with a passive income which creates by my property. But if I will only wait, I bought this property, there is some rental, I'm sitting and waiting till the price is going to come up, I will sell this one, it's going to take a lot of time. So there is the faster way is to use the money from the bank, to borrow money to get more properties, to put them on rent. But for example, if you have something already completed out of your payment plan, you can use this as a collateral, как залог, to get a personal loan, not even the mortgage. For example, you're not eligible for the mortgage for whatever reason, right? To use this money as a collateral, to put it on the second off-plan property or ready property. And this way you have already kind of two trees growing at the same time. And then this is how you become a full-time investor, Mr. Klein. So having this idea of becoming an investor, which plans do you have? You wanted to have like just one property potentially generating like a little bit of money, or in the future you want to have like a bunch of properties. So you will then move out of whatever job you have. In US, they're saying 9-to-5 job. I heard Russians are saying 5 to 2, 5 days to 2 weekends. Anyway, for any job that you have, you can now quit the job, maybe start a business, or maybe don't do anything. Just travel and live from the passive income that your property generate. Make sense? And eventually, this is our all of us potentially would love to do that. Do something that we love, which might not be something we generate a lot of money, and have money from the passive income, from the properties, or whatever we are creating. But the properties is the most easy, understandable asset. We assist with the transferring the money from the different countries with the different sources, so you don't have to worry if you have troubles getting your money out. Crypto, cash to cash, cash to bank check, bank account transfer. I know you might not know the ins and outs, like small details of the process, but you don't have to know that. And if the client going to approach you, oh, how are you doing this? Like you say, well, look, it's sometimes yeah, I kind of know that like a framework of this, but that would be way better if when we're going to get to that, I will connect you to the person who is financially equipped with responding to all of the questions. So would that be helpful if we would do that when the time will come? Okay, yes.